I'll have to. Maybe I'll have to get a new computer.
I think you should.
What if I don't want to? Fuck it all.
I don't really care, Steve. You fucking find cheap shit all the time. Find yourself a new cheap computer.
But a cheap computer won't do what I need it to do.
Okay, then find a moderately priced computer.
I'm not going to find a moderately priced computer at a yard sale or a thrift store. I'm going to find a piece of shit.
You're a fucking eBay man. Wheel and deal.
Yeah. Wheel and deal this shit, Steve.
Yeah.
No?
No.
Okay.
But
yeah,
I am on, and it seems to be working somewhat properly now.
It seems to be.
If you want to hit the live button, we can go.
You mean the button I hit a while ago?
Oh, well, I didn't see it.
Well, Steve, I can't help that. I can't help that you wouldn't see that.
No, I wasn't paying any attention.
You generally don't. I mean,
I never do. It's a wonder that I wake up every morning and learn, remember to breathe.
I agree.
But I do.
Sometimes you do, Steve.
I think this is all just a bad dream. I've been on medication and it's affecting my dreams. And I think maybe this is
medication time, Steve. Medication time.
Well, it's just headache medicine,
What kind of headache medicine, Steve? This is fucking riveting stuff. Ooh. Yeah, that's not just like headache medication, Steve.
That's what it is. What else is it? You mean they lied to me?
Quite possibly.
Why would they do that?
I don't know.
All right.
You ready?
Yeah. No, but go ahead anyway.
Sure. Do you have news stuff for tonight?
Well, ask me when it's news time.
Oh, all right.
I'll just make up news because you accuse me of doing it anyway. So
sure. This is the Fortean Slip, episode 17, the Mothman Fallacies. Good afternoon. Doing the show a little earlier today, live, because it works out for everyone involved, I think. Well, except for Steve. Steve had issue. That's why we're starting late. We were supposed to start at 3.
It's 3 o'clock somewhere.
Not exactly, Steve. Not exactly. So how you adjusting to the time change, Steve?
Apparently not very well.
No? Not enjoying it?
The time change doesn't do anything to me. I mean, I'm just at home no matter what, so.
But you don't notice that it's brighter later in the day.
Oh, yeah, I do. I kind of noticed that a little bit.
Yeah?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's brighter later in the day.
Did you like all the late in the year snow?
No? We didn't actually get that much here. A little bit south they got it. But I know you got slammed there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Sucks to be you.
It did.
Would you call it like a snowpocalypse? I mean, was it that bad?
No, I wouldn't call it a snowpocalypse at all, Steve. I just called it a blizzard.
No one would ever use that word ever for any reason.
I do.
It was just a blizzard. It was a heavy snowstorm, which is known as a blizzard, Steve.
Huh.
Yeah.
So more like Snowmageddon then.
No. Not even a little bit. Snowmageddon would be the end of the world, Steve, and pretty sure it's just a blizzard. We're all still here. So
okay, well, I mean, I like to give fancy names to things, but you don't, so whatever.
Which, I mean, I understand. It's how you're built. You're one of those people that runs to the store and has to buy bread and milk and water. Whenever it snows, you freak out.
I do not. I'm not a prepper type person.
Don't lie, Steve. You fucking bunker down.
I do
sit
not.
in your home. You
I
do.
do the same.
Every day is
Doesn't
the
matter
end
how
of the
much-
world. That's why you're
No.
an eBay reseller.
No. No matter what happens, I do the same thing if it's a blizzard or not. I still go out and do my shit, and I don't let it scare me.
No?
Not at all. Why would I? It's just
What
a
if
blizzard.
What if the Mothman was involved, Steve?
Oh, fuck the Mothman. The Mothman comes before the storm.
Right.
Not
That's what I mean.
during or
What if
after.
what if you saw like the Mothman before the
Well,
storm?
Well, then I might get a little worried. I mean, wouldn't you?
What if it was a moth woman?
I don't think there are any. I think the Mothman's asexual, or what's that called when you don't have to have a mate to breed.
It's asexual, Steve.
Yeah, I think that's the case because you never see a moth woman, ever.
Ever?
I've never seen a moth woman. Have you?
Have you seen? Well, I don't know if anyone's seen him up close.
So it could be all this time. It could have been a moth woman.
Could be. There could be
haven't seen
breasts
it close
on
enough.
a moth person.
I think we should be politically correct and call it a moth person. That's probably better.
From now on.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
No.
I'm so ingrained with the Mothman, Steve.
Well, yeah, you've been talking about it all week.
What do you mean I've been talking about it all week?
Well, let's do a show on the Mothman. Hey, I want to do this show on the Mothman. We're going to do this on the Mothman. You say,
just like the stuff that I wanted to talk about. And I brought up the what the fuck are you doing? Going through DAT tapes or something?
No, never mind. I'll put everything away. I was playing with stuff while I was on the show, and I forgot that my microphone picks all that up.
Yeah.
I was taking things apart because I'm a busy person and I got to work and got to do shit. And just whoa, was that a vape I just heard?
It was because I'm getting sick of your shit.
No, I get yelled at when I do that on the show.
It's because you suck, Steve. I can't help that.
Last week it was your cell phone. This week it's your vape. And those are the things that you tell me that I'm not allowed to do.
Do as I say, not as I do, Steve.
That ain't right. That just ain't right. Just for that.
You didn't even do any research on the topic at hand, did you, Steve?
What makes you think I didn't do any research?
Well, I'm just, I'm making the assumption based on your previous performance.
No, I actually did not. I've been really busy. I mean, I do have a livelihood to maintain.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Did you, are you aware of the sightings of the Mothman in 2017 over Chicago?
I'm aware of them, sure.
Are you?
Well, yeah, because you made me aware of them earlier this week.
Yeah.
And I think we've talked about them on the show.
But you didn't read anything about them.
I wasn't able to find a legitimate news source.
You weren't. That's funny because our producer was able to find two
legitimate news sources.
Yeah, two legitimate news sources.
I didn't actually look for a legitimate news source either, but
of course you didn't, Steve, because you pretty much suck.
I do.
And you were
I fully intended on researching this topic because Mothman is a fascinating subject.
You think so?
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the Mothman, Steve.
Well, he's a moth.
Uh-huh.
He's allegedly, we may not be certain, but he's a man.
Uh-huh.
And there were some things that happened back in New Jersey a long time ago. It wasn't New Jersey, right? No, West Virginia.
Point Pleasant.
Yeah, Point Pleasant. And there was a bridge and a factory with TNT.
Yeah.
They used to have TNT, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And he's a harbinger of doom.
A harbinger of doom.
Yes.
Okay.
So I know about the Mothman somewhat.
I'm glad you're on the case, Steve.
I am.
Yes, there were upwards of 50-something sightings of the Mothman over Chicago. And
Right.
based on the articles that our producer sent me, which, by the way, Steve, were from I Fucking Love Science and Vice.
Okay.
Both
Why is it that the
both very
producer?
reputable.
Why
And
is it that the producer didn't send said articles to me?
Steve, we wanted to test your ability to investigate on your own, which, as you've shown us recently, kind of sucks.
It has been lacking lately, hasn't it?
It's pretty bottom of the barrel, Steve.
It's
I used to
non-existent.
call you a top shelf investigator. Now
And I
I'd say
was.
you're fucking swill.
I don't even know what swill is. Is that bad?
Yeah, it's pretty much shit,
Oh,
Steve. Yeah. So yeah, and basically, what I got out of these articles, both these sightings over Chicago, was that they tried to make the article sound like they knew what these things were, but then they basically just said, "But we don't really know what they were. We just know that there
right.
were a lot of sightings."
And they looked somewhat like Mothmen.
Mothman, I guess, or women. I don't know. I don't understand them. The biology of the Mothman or woman.
Yeah, I'm not a big student of Mothman biology myself, or anything apparently related to show topics.
Yeah, you pretty much just have
Well,
no
it's not
clue
that I didn't want to.
whatsoever.
You hadn't
Steve,
surprised me at the last minute with, okay, we're going to do the show at 3:00 at 2:30. Then maybe I would have, had a
that
little
was
bit
a
of time to
mistake on my
investigate.
part, Steve.
Then maybe
Yes.
you would have done what? Crammed in like an hour worth of investigating before the show
Yes.
if it had more. Oh, okay. Well, that makes it much better then. It's the Mothman, Steve.
And you knew about it all week.
I did know about it all week, but business takes priority over pleasure.
You know how long it took me to do my Mothman research, Steve?
It was a 5-minute thing. I know that.
Yeah, it took me no time whatsoever. I read through the articles. I read through some stuff on the Mothman. Got reacquainted with shit. That's it.
Well, yeah, and I know enough about the what do we call him? The Mothman. I'm just digging myself a hole here.
Keep digging.
No. But I want to know more about these Chicago sightings that I didn't have time to investigate.
We don't know what it was.
Well, I mean, what was there, being that the Mothman is he predicts danger, apparently. Was there any danger that was predicted?
I don't think so. I don't know. I mean, it is Chicago. I'm pretty sure there's just danger there all the time.
Yeah, I mean, but in Point Pleasant, and all the bridge collapsed and all that bullshit, and they tied that into the fact that the Mothman was appearing there. So there was no bridge collapsings or buildings blowing up or anything like that in Chicago, right?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, so it wasn't the real Mothman then. It was a fake.
It was a copycat Mothman.
Yeah, but he wasn't as good because obviously nothing happened.
He wasn't a harbinger of death.
No, not at all. I mean, well, people probably die in Chicago every day, I'm guessing.
I mean, can't you be the Mothman and not necessarily be a harbinger of death?
But that's your reputation. You have to live up to it. It's just inappropriate to not.
Okay.
I mean, the Mothman can't fail us. He can't be one thing to some people and something else to somebody else. It just ain't right. You got to be the same guy all the time.
Same Mothman, same bat channel. Right?
Right. I mean, me, I'm the same person all the time. I don't change. Why would the Mothman change? Has he gotten soft in his old age or what?
I think we've already gone over this, and you are not the same person all the time.
No, see, that's just your opinion. My opinion is that I am.
That's just like your opinion, man.
Yeah. So I guess in Chicago, and I did do a little research. Not recently, but when the sightings happened.
Yeah.
They blamed it all on like giant owls.
What did you research, Steve?
Right here in the side chat. Long-eared owls invade Chicago.
Yeah.
But I knew that before, and Richard just kind of reminded me of it.
And that's what it is. It's owls. It's not the Mothman.
Well, I'd say that's probably a pretty good guess.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, being that there probably is no real Mothman.
You don't think so?
I think he died with the bridge collapse. Because, we haven't really had much Mothman encounters since then.
We might know a little bit more about the area of Point Pleasant had you gone when you were supposed to.
You didn't go either.
Correct, I didn't go, but you're much closer than I am. And you had you were supposed to go. Like you had like the whole shit set up.
Well, we didn't quite have it all set up. We were gonna have a hotel and all that, but we didn't, shit happens, man. Shit happens.
Shit happens.
Having not enough money to rent a hotel room and things.
Oh. Yeah.
It just wasn't in the budget that year. Maybe it will be, and maybe it'll be in yours.
Maybe someday it will, Steve.
I am planning on going to a Bigfoot thing this year, though.
Yeah, I'm planning on the weekend of April 20th going to see Jim Norton in Pennsylvania.
Where in Pennsylvania?
Poconos.
And who is Jim Norton?
A comedian.
Why would you want to see? Why would you go all the way to Pennsylvania? Doesn't he ever come to Maine?
He actually just came to Foxwoods, which is in Connecticut, which is close by, but I couldn't get tickets for that one.
No. But you can get tickets to something like way out of your way in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, but gotta make a weekend out of it, Steve.
Never been to the Poconos.
Gonna make a weekend out of it, drive down, enjoy me some Jim Norton, and drive home. Maybe check out some stuff while I'm there, Steve.
Okay. Well, what are you going to check out? What are you going to check out?
I don't know. What's around?
I don't know. I'm not from the Poconos.
Is there any Mothman? Is there any Mothman up there?
I don't know. I never lived in that part of Pennsylvania. Just because I lived in Pennsylvania doesn't mean I know everything about it.
It's like mountainous area, right?
I believe so.
I think you should do some research for me, Steve.
I'll get right on that.
Why do I doubt that, Steve?
Well, because is it research for the show?
Technically, kind of. I mean, we'll be able to use my experience, maybe what happens while I'm down there on the show.
I'm sure there's some like weird things that go on in the Poconos. I mean, it's in the mountains and shit, I believe.
You think there could be some big feet?
I think there might be. I mean, it's in the mountains. That's where big feet like to be.
Mothmen or women?
Probably men. I think I'm going with the asexual theory on Mothman. Because
Mothman.
I mean, and I think there's only one of them, and I think he's,
stretched pretty thin.
Oh yeah, because and then he must hibernate or something because he only comes out once every like 30, 40, 50 years or so. I mean, we don't have a lot of Mothman sightings between Point Pleasant and Chicago. Where are all the Mothman sightings?
I don't know, Steve. I don't keep up on it.
Or are people seeing something else and not calling it the Mothman? Maybe the Jersey Devil and the Mothman are the same thing.
Think so?
I don't know. They're both winged creatures, right?
They are sort of interesting that there were a lot of Mothman sightings in Chicago in 2017 when there were a huge owl population boom in the same year.
Right.
I mean, yeah, it is interesting.
Oh, I'm pretty
However,
sure it was owls.
it could maybe not have been owls.
Have you seen owls? I mean, they kind of look like a moth with, some of them.
Yes, I've seen owls, Steve,
Well,
and
yeah.
I would never confuse an owl with a Mothman.
Well, the original Mothman sightings in Point Pleasant, if you read those reports, a couple of them were obviously eagle owls.
Yeah. I didn't read the reports.
I thought they tried to make them out to be sandhill cranes.
Yeah, well, crane, but no, a couple of them were definitely eagle owls based on the eye width and the fact that it had big bushy eyebrows coming up over its eyes. But eagle owls get to be about 8 feet long, and they've got red eyes. So if you saw one of them flying over your car, you could be forgiven for being a little scared.
Okay, so is there an actual eagle owl population in Point Pleasant?
Let me check that for you.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm the researcher. Let me check it.
Yeah, both of you get right on it. Whoever wins gets to live.
I think Richard's going to win because I can't even use my computer right now, so except for this. I'm afraid to touch anything. Well, Bessie, she's getting a little tired.
So I got scolded this week, Steve.
By the Mothman?
No, not by the Mothman.
Oh.
An old friend of ours popped up in my news feed.
A friend of ours?
Yes, a friend of ours.
Okay.
It's like Goodfellas.
Okay. He's female or male?
He's a friend of ours. This person is a male.
Okay. Old friend meaning that we don't talk to this person anymore.
Right, we don't associate with this person anymore. This person tends to he just is plain gay.
That friend.
Yes. And it was in the BBB.
What were you doing in there?
Oh, I'd like to go in there and just post Big Lebowski memes and gifs.
BBB is the Bigfoot something Battle Battalion or something.
Yeah, some bullshit.
Some stupid group.
They do stupid shit.
Run by stupid people.
Sure.
Before you continue, Chris, I just want to tell Steve to go fuck his moose.
Anyway.
Yeah, I think Richard amends that group. That's why
someone posted a link to, I think it was like video of Richter's stand up.
Oh my god! Never mind. I'm not going to commentate on that. I've seen it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they're like,
he's unpolished.
And they're like, he could be good and yada yada yada. I didn't even watch it. But
You
then
need to watch it.
But then someone noted that it would be funny if Stroifert started following him around and heckling him, and eventually Richter just made it part of the act. And my comment was, it would be totally hilarious if it ended in a murder-suicide. But that was not received well by one of the admins. Another of the admins chuckled.
I can guess which admin chuckled. And which admin wasn't received, didn't receive it well. But that is pretty much the act already, by the way.
What's that?
That the Struford heckling him and Richter making it part of the act is the act. Pretty much already. I watched it.
Okay.
He's very unpolished. Trying to make this as nice as possible. It's all about being a gay Bigfooter and a lot of talk about,
as it should be.
A lot of talk about being on TV and some bookstore guy in California, right? Yeah, California. That's pretty much it.
That's all she wrote.
Yeah. And it's very unpolished. Let's say that the HBO special will be a few decades off.
Light years
Just saying.
in the future.
And I'm not criticizing. I'm just giving the honest opinion about it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you can make a whole stand-up routine based on the fact that you're a gay Bigfooter. I just don't think there's a longevity thing going on there. I think you need to expand into other areas to make it legit.
Well, and it's kind of a pigeonhole to begin with the whole Bigfoot thing, but
Yeah.
good luck to him, I guess, but I have no love for the man, as I've said many.
Well, yeah,
many
you
times.
and he have had a history, sure.
Yeah.
And it wasn't the loving gay kind of history either. It was not even close. It wasn't that good.
No. Not at all. But hey, it is what it is, and time goes on, Steve.
Yeah. But as far as the stand-up routine goes, work on it. You have a lot of work to do, and I wish you nothing but the best. But get some new material. It's the same material that's been going around for years. I mean, if you think about it. So, just
it's all a pile of horse shit. So,
it's Bigfoot. So,
yeah. I guess there's some news that Claudia Ackley dropped the lawsuit, but
now is this legit news that has she confirmed it?
This is from the horse's mouth.
Yeah, okay. Richard knows way more about it than I do. But supposedly it's she's gonna revamp the lawsuit.
Well, after reading it did need a lot of work, and the way it was, it wouldn't have done very well in court. And I don't know that any Bigfoot type lawsuit, the type that she wants to do, will do well in court. I doubt it. But it was not written well. I'm not sure if Todd wrote it or if her former attorney or current attorney or whatever wrote it. But it was poorly written, in my opinion. And I'm not even into legal stuff. So I'm glad that she's actually taking steps back, maybe to try to do something different.
Like I said, I think the effort is much better placed in a different direction, not towards the legal system. But that's my own personal opinion.
Because it's an unrecognized animal, and the legal system can't do anything about that until it's a recognized animal by science. Because obviously they can just deny it. Even if it did exist, they could just deny it. Hey, it's not recognized by science, so go fuck yourself.
Right.
So not saying that there is any sort of conspiracy going on. I don't know. I've never seen any real evidence of it, and anytime there was anything that seemed kind of legit, it always turns out to be bullshit. So yeah. I just think, like you said, her efforts are better served in more research to her area if she truly believes that's what she saw.
Yeah, and I think that the effort should be put into real research, not this fucking backyard bullshit that's been going around for ages now.
Well, if you really have a Bigfoot in your area, the best way to prove that is not ignoring it and going to court. And I'm not saying that's what she's doing per se, but getting the state to recognize an animal that they won't recognize. It's to go out and get some solid evidence and proof of it, before you jump. I mean, I guess, in my opinion, it's a little bit kind of like jumping the shark,
It's putting the cart before the horse.
Right. And Claudia knows that's how we feel about it. I mean, that's not news to her. So
no, I've told her a multitude of times, even after.
And she knows. Right. She knows, and she understands our side, and we understand hers, sort of. So I get what she wants to do. It's just not, like you said, and I said, it's not the right way to go about it. We don't believe. Now, we could be totally wrong. She could go into that courtroom and the state of California could side with her. I don't see that happening, but it could happen in, bizarre ways.
I suppose it's a possibility, but it's a possibility that I doubt very highly. I would not put any, I wouldn't put any money on it.
If I were to be a betting man, the odds are not in her favor. And I would bet against her in this situation.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
So,
but good luck to her, I guess. But I not really, to be honest with you, because I just don't think it's a good idea. I don't think that that's the route.
Yeah, and she's welcome, and she knows. She's welcome to come back on this show and explain it again, and maybe what's going on and why she decided to go this route. And if it says she's getting Richard says she's getting a lawyer to redraft it, which is good because it needed a good redrafting for sure. And if she wants to come on and explain this turn of events, that'd be great. And then we'd have her back on, and she knows that. So
why not? What the fuck? We're not above letting somebody, state their point.
I do want to know who actually drafted the original. Was it the attorney that she had, or was it Todd? Because if it was Todd, and that's how he drafted his stuff in Canada, no wonder he hasn't gone anywhere with it. It wasn't great. It wasn't written like a lawyer should write.
You mean Todd, action man standing, jump around, and dress up in all kinds of weird clothing and act like he's a survival expert?
That
guy? Such an interesting documentary, Steve.
Well, I'd look at the history, somebody has actually taken legal action against a government regarding Bigfoot, and that was Todd Standing. What happened with that? Nothing. Zero. Zilch. Nada. And basically he's been laughed at by everybody in the government and lawyers and everybody. Nobody really wants to take his case. He claims he has a lawyer that is, but I don't really know that he does.
He claims he has Bigfoot.
He claims a lot of things that he never takes anybody to. He just takes them to the low activity areas, not the high activity areas.
You should see my other area. It's this, the activity is much more apparent. But I brought you here, Dr. Melvin,
to put apples on trees,
where the activity is not as prevalent. Now watch me jump around and drive ATVs through the forest for 5 minutes.
I particularly like the end, towards the end of the movie, when he's doing he's dressed up in the camouflage and he's laying down in the snow and shit, reenacting whatever it was, because he doesn't have real footage of it, so he has to show the reenactment. It's great. I mean, if I went in there looking at it as a comedy, maybe it would. No, it'd still be bad.
Oh, it was fucking horrible. It was the hour-long Todd Standing infomercial.
Here's what I want to do, Chris. When you come to Pennsylvania, maybe you could swing by Ohio real quick. I mean, it's not that far, right? And we could put together a documentary and get it on Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I got it
in a day.
Halfway. That's probably all it took him to film that one. I have this Sony camera that it's sort of kind of nice. That it's a let's see, I got it from Randy Filipovic.
I could probably do better with my iPhone. Continue.
It is a HDR AR100, a nice little camera. It's 64 gigs internal memory, and that'll give us plenty of filming time. We'll leave the outtakes right in it. I don't know what we're going to do the documentary on, but it'll be something. And then we'll cut in, like Richard will be the narrator, so there will be some post-production. Because it's always great to have a British narrator. I mean, it just makes it sound a little more legit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we'll have to discuss it and
Well,
get this.
Do I get
I
to
want to see how
jump
hard
around out in the woods?
you can do whatever you want. I want to see how hard it is to get a documentary on Netflix. Apparently, it's not that hard. So I want to see how hard it really is.
Well, apparently they answer their phones. You've rang Netflix. You're greenlit. So,
Huh.
but
Listen to him go. Just
I think it would be
bringing the funny.
Great. I mean, we could do a skeptical documentary, you know.
A skeptical documentary about what?
There's some trees around here. We could go out in the woods a little bit and pretend to look for Bigfoot and shit. And then debunk it.
You mean Zorth?
Well, I don't know. I did find out this week, though, that Patty, you know, from the Patterson-Gimlin film, is still around.
Oh.
And she is, I guess, a celebrity in the Bigfoot world.
Oh.
Amongst the Bigfoot, not amongst people, amongst people as well. And that she has finally made another appearance, but this time in the UK.
Oh.
And yeah. And Zorth showed up because, you know, it's a big thing. She doesn't appear very often. Yeah. It was just a week or so ago, I think.
Yeah.
I guess over 500 Bigfoots showed up.
Oh.
In the UK to celebrate Patty's coming out finally after 50 some odd years. So it was posted on Facebook.
Oh, that means it had to be true, Steve. If it was on Facebook, I mean, you know,
I can't remember the guy's name.
You can't deny a Facebook post.
Gordon Dodds.
Graham Kerr, I think.
Richard spoken. He says Gordon Dodds.
See, I wasn't lying. This was actually a post. The guy believes. Well, I don't know what he really believes, but believes that and there is a Xanu type of Bigfoot, not the Trachon, which is not a Bigfoot. It's an evil being. Xenu, maybe that's it. Maybe I'm pronouncing it wrong. I don't think it's pronounceable. I think it's one of those words that we pronounce whatever way feels good for us because we can't really pronounce Bigfoot words.
You mean like Cthulhu?
Something like that, yeah. It's one of those kind of words.
I found my H.P. Lovecraft book, Steve.
Nice.
Yeah, when searching through my old stuff and all my books, and the first box I opened it was in. I was shocked. I was like, "Oh, fuck. There it is."
Yeah, that was easy.
Yeah, so I grabbed that. Yeah. And I'm going to I started reading the Call of Cthulhu.
And what's your
Well, I just started reading it. I read the first part of it last night.
The title.
No, it's not the title.
You got past the title.
It's part 1.
Oh, okay. Well, obviously you have some sort of opinion on part 1.
Yeah, it's I like the way that it's progressing. It's very like I said, it's very much like I said with the Dunwich Horror. It's a history. It reads like a history of what happened.
Okay.
It's very in retrospect. But yeah, I'm curious to see what it's like. I do not have the complete works. I've got like 20 something stories in the book. So I'm gonna read through them. See how
I don't think you could have the complete works. I mean, there's a lot of works.
Well, they do some pretty crazy things, stuffing literature into one book.
I mean, he wrote a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I've got a good amount of it. Which
that's cool.
It'll be fun to pour through. And I found my Ultimate Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, which has the entire series in it.
I did not know that.
So I dug that out and dug a few other book series out. The Harry Dresden books. There's a couple other ones I grabbed too while I was at it.
I read a couple books this week myself.
Did you?
In fact, they're right here. I'll do them for you.
Oh boy, here we go.
It's volumes 1 and 2. So, Signed Beauties of Costume Jewelry, Identification and Values by Marcia Sparkles Brown. That was it. It's a great book.
Yeah.
It's in color. There's a lot of pictures.
Yeah.
That was the book I read this week.
That book that you're selling this week?
No, this is a reference guide.
Oh.
Yeah. But volumes 1 and 2. And it's by Collector Books, if anybody wants to know, a division of Schroeder Publishing Company.
Yeah.
Very intense reading about the wonderful world of costume jewelry. You would be surprised.
That you're going to be a transgender person? No, not at all.
No.
That doesn't surprise me at all. Steve, I've often thought that you wore your mom's underwear and/or dresses.
Well, there were a couple of occasions where I did put a dress on. Skyla's in the chat. Huh. She hasn't been in there in a while, or we haven't heard from her in a while. Or have you?
I've spoken to her.
She says hi.
Yes. Hi.
She didn't say hi to me.
I'm in the middle of a show, Steve.
Well,
we're talking about your fucking Rocky Horror Picture Show habits.
Listen, I have in the past recently put on a dress.
Are you saying that you're a sweet transvestite, Steve?
No. Not there's anything wrong with that, but no, I'm not. I think I'm secure enough in my manhood that I can, on occasion, model a dress just for fun.
Steve, do you do the time warp?
I don't even know what that is.
I think you do.
Is it like a dance?
It's just a step to the left, and then a jump to the right.
Put your hands on your hips, Steve.
Bring your knees in tight. But
do the pelvic thrust.
Yeah, they'll really drive you insane.
Yeah.
Huh. I'm unfamiliar with that particular move.
I'm pretty sure that you and Frankenfurter spent some time, together, intimately.
This is some sort of pop culture reference that I have no clue about.
Steve, I can't believe that you don't know the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
I have never seen it in play form or movie form.
Wow.
We missed that one locally. They did do a rendition of it locally, and we were going to go, and we weren't able to make it. So, if they ever do it again, then I'll be familiar. Oh, somebody wants us to get back on topic.
Oh, the latest Mothman sightings? As far as I know, they were Chicago.
Yeah, the last year.
The ones that we spoke about. There's like 55 sightings, I think, according to Lon Strickler.
Oh, Lon. Lon's a good guy. He's a little out there sometimes, but he does post the stories.
But you like him?
Well, I've had one occasion to speak with Lon on Facebook, but it was a long time ago, so I don't really know much about the guy.
What do you know, Steve?
That he's a guy, and that he posts paranormal stories all the time.
Oh.
I don't think he actually investigates. I think he's just more of a news resource.
He doesn't frequent your transvestite groups?
No, he was happily married. His wife passed away, I think, last year.
You can be a transvestite and be happily married, Steve.
No, he's not. I don't believe he is. And nor am I, actually.
Yeah, I wasn't saying anything about him. I was talking about you.
You're not happily married, Steve?
Not a transvestite or transgender or trans anything.
Let's isolate that.
I don't even eat trans fats. You see what I did there?
Nah.
I thought it was witty.
It wasn't.
Not at all?
No.
Somebody got a chuckle.
Not even a little.
I chuckled. Okay, I'm gonna admit that I chuckled.
Oh, by the way, An update on the book signing. Ryan has contacted me. The book is signed. I just have to go get it.
Where do you have to go get it?
I don't know. Whenever I'm out near Dunkirk, New York, I guess.
When are you going to Dunkirk?
I have no clue. Dunkirk's a little bit away.
Yeah?
Yeah, so maybe he could send it to me.
You can't make the trek for a free book, Steve?
Well, he didn't say anything about it being free. It better damn well be free, though. I'm not paying for it. It's a review copy.
A review? What's that mean?
That means I get to review it, and then it's free, right? Review copies are free, right?
I guess. I mean,
It better be.
We could always review it on the show.
Well, that's where I plan to review it. But if Ryan happens to be in the chat today, he can message me, and we'll work something out. I just haven't had a chance to get to the New York area recently. But I will be in Erie this week. If maybe we could meet somewhere.
Okay. I'm glad that you're going to expand your horizons by reading,
I still want the one and only signed copy. It's probably going to be a bestseller. And if I can get it on the ground floor of that, I don't know. I haven't read it yet.
I'm willing to bet it's going to wind up on eBay.
If it's a bestseller, you're damn straight it will be.
I'm thinking eBay material for Steve.
I want the one and only copy. Period.
He's going to sign other copies, Steve.
Well, that's if any sell.
Why are you so negative?
Well, I haven't read it yet, so I don't know whether I need to be negative or positive about it. You see how I reviewed Richter's stand-up comedy act. I'll do the same for Ryan.
Let me save you some time. You need to be negative.
No, I'm not going to be negative if it's a positive book. I want to read the book, and I will, and then I'll review it.
Tell us all about it.
That's right. In fact, I might even read live passages from it right on the show.
To explain to us how good or bad it is?
Yes.
Oh.
Maybe you could help me review it.
That sounds like a great idea, Steve. The Ryan Redding book review.
Yeah, I don't remember what the name of it is, but go on Amazon. You can't really find it by typing in his name, so it's something about Bigfoot.
Did he go under a pseudonym?
No, he used his real name.
But you can't find it under him?
Well, I typed in Ryan Redding and it didn't come up, so I had to go through a link that he had somewhere.
Uh-huh.
I did not save the link, so we can't put it underneath the video here today.
Totally not prepared, Steve. But
there are actually reviews of the book already, even though it just came out like last week. But they're from people who just read the excerpt on excerpt.
And didn't we go over those reviews or one of them?
One of them, yes.
Yeah.
And I misstated. I said it sounded like he wrote it like a third grader. It was actually a little bit better than that. I went back and reread the review. It was fourth grader.
Oh, that is so much better, Steve.
But these people haven't actually read the entire book. They're just reading. They're reading what's available online. So,
right.
And there's just a short amount of it available.
Which I'm sure once they read the whole thing, they'll go back to third grader.
Well, no, they may change their opinion on it. I don't know.
So maybe you were right to begin with, Steve. Maybe third grader was right.
It's possible that there's even a Mothman sighting in the book. I have no idea yet.
We're tying in Mothman with the Ryan Redding book?
He ties in a lot of things.
Oh.
I know there's allegedly some UFO stuff in there and Bigfoot, of course, and things of that nature. So we're going to find out.
It's like fucking the X-Files, Steve. He's like a regular Fox Mulder.
I'm almost all the way through season 1 now. So
yeah, you liking that shit?
Yeah, actually. It's a little cheesy.
Good for you.
Yeah, my wife says that it gets better over time, and she said that she even liked it after the 6th season. So
Hmm.
She
I've
said
just
it did
lost
get.
a lot of respect for your wife. Just saying
She said it did get bizarre, but she was still able to follow it, and in fact liked it. So
Uh-huh. Well, you heard it here first, folks. The Alcorns love the X-Files.
well, see, there was 11 seasons, so obviously other people liked it after the 6th season.
If you say so, Steve. You watched all of Hunter.
I did. I watched every episode.
So, I mean,
every single episode.
that right there tells you everything.
And the last season of that sucked, but I still watched it.
You didn't like it?
Well, they kind of jumped the shark with it and stuff like that. But that's the second time I used that reference today.
Yeah.
That.
You're just fucking going to that well.
Well, Dee Dee died.
Steve, I have no
Dee Dee
depth
got married,
Alcorn.
They killed off one of the main characters halfway through the season because there was a contract dispute. And then they brought in another one.
If only I could kill you halfway through the season.
Oh, well, yeah, I know. I kind of wish the same. So, come on, who would replace me?
I don't know.
There isn't.
like anyone we could find.
There isn't anybody who would do what I do.
A doofus.
No, they'd probably do it well.
And the show would fail.
Be a failure?
The show would fail if you replaced me.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm the talent.
Okay. If you say so. I mean, I'm with you.
That's right. You ought to be because you know the truth.
I do.
Richard knows the truth too.
What's the truth, Steve?
The truth is that we wouldn't have a show if I wasn't on it.
Okay.
We wouldn't because I wouldn't be on it. See?
Well, we wouldn't have a show.
Right.
That's true, Steve. I
We
will
wouldn't
give
have
you
a show if I wasn't on it.
that. Your logic is sound.
Yes, it is. I have sound logic all the time.
I don't know about that.
My logic is usually not sound.
You're not sound of mind or anything.
There is something wrong with me.
Yeah.
I'm considering going on medication, even though I'm already on medication. But my medication for something is for something totally different. So.
It's medication time, Steve.
Yeah, I'm considering it.
It's medication time.
But we don't want to.
Steve, I'm telling you, mushrooms, I think, are the key.
Well, they may be, but I don't know that
they're saying that the mushrooms can help cure shit with depression and your overall mental health.
I thought it was cannabis.
No, cannabis is totally different. Totally different, Steve. But I think one good mushroom trip, me and you, out in the middle of the woods, be a good time.
I'll consider it.
It'd be a good time. It'd be like
I've considered it. No.
We'll go the fucking full Monty. We'll do the fucking quarter ounce.
No.
The talking to God mushroom trip.
I don't want to do that.
Steve, those are the best ones. Those are the best ones when you question your fucking mortality or whatever.
I question that every day.
Everything about reality.
I do that every day. I don't need mushrooms to help me.
Oh, it's the best, Steve. Your whole entire life unravels before your eyes.
Why would I want that?
It's the best, Steve.
No, it's not the best. It sounds horrible.
Why is that horrible?
My life unraveling?
Why is a little introspection so horrifying to you?
Well, maybe I'd be afraid of what I see.
Exactly. That's the whole point.
Well, I don't want to be afraid. I'm secure in my ignorance.
All the fucking, learned scholars, they all say, know thyself, Steve. Let's fucking rip the wall down. Let's Pink Floyd this motherfucker, Steve.
Ignorance is bliss. All the great scholars say that too.
We'll put on Pink Floyd The Wall. Fucking
You
eat a
know,
quarter ounce of mushrooms. We'll fucking follow that up, with a little fucking Moody Blues.
I have been listening to some Blue Oyster Cult lately since I got those guitar picks. I needed
Fuck
to
the
figure
Blue
out.
Oyster Cult. We're going
It's good
fucking Pink
stuff.
Floyd, Moody Blues. I know how to do
Well,
this. I know the soundtrack for
Did
a
he
good
just say
fucking
that?
mushroom trip. What?
Just say that. How dare you?
Next, he's gonna, say something bad about Foghat.
Motherfucker.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Steve. This is something I know. This could be great.
You know what I
It could be
know.
great therapy for you. You could come out a new man.
I will stay the old one. I
You have
kind
a
of
new
like the
leaf
old
on
one.
life and see everything in a totally different perspective.
Yeah, but then I wouldn't be me.
Steve, have you ever stared at carpet for like an hour?
Yes.
It's fucking not in the way I'm talking about, Steve.
Well, you asked if I did it, and I agree. I said I had. You didn't
Well,
say how.
No,
I don't need
no,
any drug to get me to stare at the carpet for an hour. I do that already.
no, not in this way, Steve.
I don't need to do it in that way.
You just said you were going to consider it,
I did. I considered it, and I don't want to do it.
and now you don't want to do it already.
Well, that doesn't take me long to consider something that's bad for me.
He is
To
a
be
man
bad.
of action, Chris. He considers the odds and then he makes a decision like that.
That's right.
Steve, I think we should go on a magic carpet ride.
No.
I like to dream, Steve. Right between the
Wait. You mean like with a genie and stuff? Like a real magic carpet, or
you
just
might, dude,
magic
you
carpet?
might see a fucking genie. It's totally possible.
Well, only if it's a real genie.
Who knows what's real and what's not real once you fucking done a quarter ounce of mushrooms, Steve?
Well, it's obviously not real. I mean, duh.
If you say so.
If it takes some sort of hallucinogen to make you see something, it's obviously not really there.
You know that scene from Harold and Kumar Go to the White Castle with the big bag of talking pot? That only with spam instead is probably what Steve will see.
Ah, that would be cool, actually. Maybe I will reconsider.
Oh, we've swayed you.
Yeah, well, you mentioned spam. I'm okay with it.
It'll all be wonderful, Steve. Spam and fucking, green colors everywhere. You'll be wonderful. It'll be a good time, Steve.
And in Highland, the eBay buyers, they pay the highest possible price all the time.
Well, that's right.
They already do, because I'm that good.
I don't know that you're that good, Steve.
No, I'm not that good.
You could be so much better if we did this.
No, I'm still not going to.
The experience alone, I think, would be amazing for you.
I don't want any mushrooms.
Speaking of eBay, if you enjoy the sounds of Steve Alcorn on the Fortean Slip, please head over to the Resellers Breakfast Club to hear him Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8 a.m.
Eastern.
Oh, now he's not stopping us.
Well, because your attempts to sabotage my other show have failed. So
I didn't know I was trying to sabotage your other show, Steve.
Yeah, we were plugging it, which is damn more than you do for us.
That's right.
One of these days, I'll plug it.
One of these days, one of them.
Yeah, I didn't say which one.
I'll get Steve to do mushrooms.
Nope.
In the woods, around a fire. We're going on a spirit walk, Steve. Me and you.
It sounds a little gay.
What the fuck does that have to do? No, what the fuck does that have to do with anything?
I don't know. It just I don't know. It sounds like you're
I say we go out to them serpent mounds in Ohio.
Taking us out to the woods alone. And
we get all fucked up on mushrooms. We go for a spirit walk.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I've never been to the Serpent Mountains, but I'd like to go. Maybe I will this year.
Ancient aliens, Steve. Yeah. You will fucking hear David Childress when we fucking do mushrooms at the fucking Serpent Mound, Steve.
Oh, I'm sure I will. I'm sure I hear a lot of things.
You're all fucked up on mushrooms. It's gotta be ancient aliens.
Well, I'm just going to tell you now that it's not going to happen. And
Come on,
you can
Steve.
keep, egging me on and begging and whatever it is you're doing. And
All right, you can be sober. I'll do the mushrooms.
well, that would be something I would agree to. Can I videotape it for YouTube?
Sure, I don't give a shit.
All right. Viral shit.
Let's
Right
do
there.
that shit.
But it has to be at the Serpent Mound.
Fucking
or
serpent mounds, fucking mushrooms. Be all fucked up. It's a Fortean Slip documentary.
Well, there you go. And it'll probably be on Netflix.
We're gonna put that shit on Netflix?
Well, the show just came full circle. I talked about doing a documentary for Netflix, and we didn't even have a theme for it or an idea. Now we do, and now we can do it. So,
All right, but only if I can dress up as the Mothman.
You can do whatever you want for this documentary. That's the beauty of Netflix.
Oh. So we're pitching this thing right now.
Yep. If anybody in Netflix land is listening, we're going to do a documentary with Chris dressed as the Mothman, high on some sort of hallucinogenic mushrooms at the Serpent Mound in Ohio.
What's the documentary about, Steve?
That
Is it the journey?
the journey, yes.
So we're gonna take it. We're gonna take the viewer from the beginning to the end of my hallucinogenic journey at the Serpent Mound.
Yes.
You think you can coordinate that, motherfucker?
I think I think I'd be rolling on the ground laughing at you the whole time. So I probably ought to have a good tripod so I don't have to hold the camera.
Do they have any fucking like camping spots out there?
I'm guessing.
I think we should find out. Be a good idea.
Or we could do it at Point Pleasant since you're dressing as the Mothman. That would be great right there.
I don't know if I'd want to do mushrooms in Point Pleasant. Dressed as the Mothman. That
would be a great documentary.
That could be horrifying for me.
That would be great. I seen a documentary the other day of a guy who dresses up as a little girl and he claims that he's 8 years old even though he's in his 40s. I mean, if that can get on TV or Netflix type, we should be able to get ours on.
We'll see. We'll test the waters, as they say.
Yeah.
I think.
Are you going to ask me about the news?
Should I?
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you have any news?
Nope. No news. No news today. Fuck it.
No news, huh?
Well, yeah, I do have some news. And I'm surprised you guys didn't mention it on the show, but Professor Hawkins died this week.
Speak and spell?
Yeah, that guy.
He will be missed.
Yeah, I mean, he was a genius.
Yeah, and he, liked to go to sex clubs and cheated on his wife.
Well, yeah.
How do you cheat on your wife when all you can move is your fucking little finger?
That must have been some wild, wild sex.
I mean, that has got to be some out of this world. You got to be like, that pinky must have been like fucking. It must have been like what was ever in the fucking case that they had in Pulp Fiction.
Yes, mystery solved. Yeah,
because motherfucker, how do you, when you can't even move in a wheelchair, fucking get some bitch to fucking fuck you and take over your care?
Money. That's how you do it. The guy had money.
I'm saying that pinky was fucking something out of this world, Steve.
I'm saying it was money. So maybe it was a combination of both.
Oh, and the other thing is that Amelia Earhart thing that I wanted to bring up as well.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, there was this.
Some bones, they're probably not hers. The end.
Thanks, Steve. Very succinctly put.
Well, that's the story, wasn't it?
No, it's because these bones were found back in the 60s, right. And they were studied by a scientist who concluded they were a European man descent, and for whatever reason, he disposed of the bones. come to find, this scientist guy measures the bones, these bones that he's never seen, by the way, never laid eyes on, and decides that they must be Amelia Earhart's bones because of their measurements. Now, this, I'm in the Bigfoot community, so I'm used to a certain level of bullshit, but this is just, a new low as far as I'm concerned. How can you possibly determine, based on bones you have never seen, what the correct measurements are?
Was he measuring them off of? I believe he was measuring them off of photographs, right?
And he was measuring them off the what the Dr. Hoodless had written down, but you can't know for sure that's exactly true.
Well, if you haven't studied the bones yourself,
No.
and the other guy said that they were male, right? The
Yeah,
original guy?
he said that they were a European man's bones, which would make sense because there was a lot of colony ships and whatnot that went missing in that area in the 1700s.
Okay, so you can't make a determination because they don't exist anymore. You can't make a solid determination. You can make a guess.
Yeah, you could say
that's all
that
it
they're
is.
Amelia Earhart's bones, but like I can say that I'm actually from Mars. You can say anything. It's just
Wait, you're John Carter?
I could be John Carter.
I almost grabbed that book too.
Yeah. I'll have to watch for any H.P. Lovecraft stuff at the thrift stores. I don't know if I'll find it, but
Yeah,
I'll watch
you
for
should.
it for you.
You should, Steve.
Yard sales.
I went to a used bookstore yesterday.
Oh, yeah? We have one in the town here. I bet you it's got everything you want. Everything. This guy's got thousands of books.
Yeah, I love used bookstores.
And it's like out of a movie. Like when you think of an old, nasty, dirty bookstore, but the guy's like a genius.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's his bookstore. Like stereotypical.
I went to
And the
one
guy knows
bookstore.
every book in there.
I went to one bookstore in New Hampshire one time, and the guy literally told me I had to pay a fee to get into the store. Like I couldn't just come in and browse.
And then why is that?
I had no fuck. I was like,
Is it
well,
that popular?
I'm not coming in to fucking browse then.
So this bookstore, this guy knows every title in the store. And I'm telling you, he's probably got 20, 30,000 books or more. And it's a 2-level store. So that, it's pretty good size. It's bigger than a house.
I'd love to check that out.
And he doesn't have a computer in there. So if you ask him about a title, in fact, I asked him about the book that Roger Patterson wrote.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, no, I've had it in the past. I don't have it now. But he knows exactly what he has and what he doesn't. It's the guy's a genius.
Right.
It's crazy. But
I fucking love old bookstores. They're awesome. There's one in Oxford. I think it's Oxford, Maine, called the Maine Bookhouse. And they change out the theme of it in the entryway every month or so. And it's an awesome place to go to look, check out used books. They have, a lot of hard to find copies of like Stephen King and shit like that.
Well, you'd find that in this bookstore, but they don't change out anything. It's like you walking into a horror movie, the horror movie bookstore. It's creepy, but it's awesome at the same time. But its prices are too high for me. But you might enjoy it.
Well, I don't like
you
bookstores where the prices are too high. I like them when they're fucking affordable, dude.
When I say they're too high for me, that means I'm trying to resell the books. I can't do it because he's too close to retail for me. But
yeah,
for you, it might be better.
Yeah. There's a bunch.
He means anything more than $1.
Right.
Pretty much.
Anything. Well, at the Goodwill, books are 5 for 89 cents, no matter what they are. So, yeah, anything more than that, I'm not probably going to pay it.
You're out.
I'm out.
I just love going to peruse through used bookstores. They're fun. Find some old copies of books with like the old illustrations or the the covers, the cover art. I found some cool stuff, that I hadn't seen in years for cover art on some books. But that's why one of the reasons why I like going there and collecting books is just a weird thing that I do.
Well, if you ever get here to my town, I'll take you to the bookstore, drop you off, and come back 2 days later because it's going to take you that long to go through the place. But
no, it wouldn't, because I'm very particular about what I like, and I'd find the sections that I enjoy, and it wouldn't take me long to go through them.
I almost guarantee he's got the books you're looking for, though. Almost guarantee it. And if he doesn't, he can get them for you because he's got like these old school, connections.
I think I'm going to go up and check out that flea market that I was looking at some books at, see if they still have some of the stuff I'm looking for. But
you should give me some titles to look out for. I'll have to...
When I went to North Carolina, I went to a really cool bookstore. Don't know if I'll be making it back down there again, though, Steve.
Well, maybe someday, but not for the same purpose.
Yeah, probably not. Probably not. So no mushrooms, Steve?
No mushrooms.
Someday.
Yeah.
Someday.
That would be a documentary.
What, both of us or just me?
No, just me.
That would be a fucking trip.
Yeah, it would be, but I ain't doing it. So.
I'd pay money to watch that one.
Right, I think anybody would.
You lose your fucking mind? Be great. Yeah. Fucking watch the deconstruction of Steve, then watch him come back too as he comes down.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. I have no purpose or no reason in life to...
It's only a 4-hour trip, Steve.
I don't care if it's a 10-minute trip. I ain't doing it.
I've got to say, I think that Steve would be the most boring person on the planet to get high with.
You're probably right.
I'd have to go there too.
He'd probably be super hyper and like want to sell everything on eBay. Be like pricing trees and stuff, writing in a little logbook. It'd just be boring.
I don't write.
You don't
have
write?
a log. I don't have a logbook.
Why don't you have a logbook?
Because it's all in my head. I don't have to. I know everything.
I'm incredibly worried for your future if all your financial details are in your head.
No, that's automatically done via QuickBooks. I don't have to remember that stuff.
Steve is a stupid.
But if I buy something, I know exactly what I paid for it. I know what I want to sell it for, and I remember where I got it. So that's stuff I don't need. Why would I need to write that down?
Good job, Steve.
It's just the way I am.
This has been the Fortean Slip, episode 17, the Mothman Fallacies. If you like this shit, hit the little thumbs up button. If you don't, hit the little thumbs down button. Subscribe, leave a comment. Check out Richard's comic strip, Bigfootin' with Keith and Colin on Facebook. Check out Matt Knapp at youtube.com/bigfootcrossroads. Someday we may get him on the show. As always, check out Dred Funn at dredfunn.com and youtube.com/Dred Funn. Still trying to get some guests for the show, but we'll see where that goes, Steve.
Yeah. We don't need any freaking guests.
Heard, pray tell, somebody asked Redfoot.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What do you think the odds are?
Pretty much nil.
Yeah, because didn't he do an interview with him before?
Yeah.
That turned out so well.
Yeah. Yeah.
The guy's a doink. I make no apologies.
Yeah, that's going to get him on the show, Richard.
We'll see what we can find out, Steve.
Yeah.
See
Ain't
ya.
gonna happen.